I guess let's just jump into it. My first question is about your first impressions upon either if you read the play first, because it is based on a play, or your first impressions from reading the screenplay that made you excited about this project.
I loved both the play and the screenplay, which I read at the exact same time, and just thought they were incredible. Such a unique blend of comedy and emotion, and really skillful use of dialogue. And it just felt like my family and my upbringing. That was the major draw was the writing.
Yeah, I read the play before I read the film script, and it was the same thing when I read the play. It's a rare thing sometimes that happens with acting where you read something and you're like, did someone write this for me? Like it felt so specific, even though it wasn't written for me. So it's an exciting thing because you go like, oh, I can really work with this and this can be really fun. And it was really exciting when it was becoming a movie.
I didn't read the play, but I read the screenplay and I was so happy for two reasons. One, finally, a happy brown people movie. Just happy. Happiness and joy around brown people, the way we experience joy, sing, dance, laugh, cry together. This is how we live. And two, because it was not a movie about coming out. Like, we're past that. We are now in 2025. We're over this, oh my God, my son is gay. If that was the story, I would not have done it because we don't live that way.
Hmm.
We're living with the gay community in, I live in New York City. All my friends, we have gay friends. Some of our kids are gay. We're past that hurdle. And I was so happy that this movie was forward looking.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
So
I will say, Zarna, as we were making this movie, we've educated you on some things that you weren't familiar with. Like your husband learned about open relationships through us, and he was fascinated that people can
Fascinating.
live. And I mean, he would not stop asking questions about
Riveted.
how open relationships work.
Yeah.
He's,
So
listen, he knows that as I get more famous, he's on his way out. I mean, let's be honest. So
Right.
he's trying to figure out his next steps.
Yes, yes, yes. He's
uh,
pivoting. He's pivoting.
Yeah.
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 I mean, one of my favorite characters is your character, Zarna, because she just felt like my mom, who is like, I met a lesbian today. Do you know them? And I'm like, no, I don't. um, but similarly, I'm Greek, so my Big Fat Greek Wedding is a huge hit in the family, and
Oh
I
Mm.
felt
My God,
really at
Zarna's been
home.
insulting my Big Fat Greek Wedding all day.
I'm
Yes.
not insulting it. Hold on, there's a fine line. I have a real problem with the movie. I'm telling you, Tina, it's a good movie, no doubt. It's a good movie. But I have a problem with the Greeks having the biggest wedding movie for 2 decades when we are the wedding people. You
Yeah.
guys made a classic that has been so hard to topple. No one has come close to it in 2 decades. And it's been killing me. It killed me so much. There's no Greek yogurt allowed in our house, ever. Because until we conquer this throne, we're not going to fix this. We're the wedding people. Like, listen, you guys should make movies about great hair. There are other
100%.
topics that are
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
topics,
absolutely.
you know?
All we have are weddings. I mean, some people are
That,
boycotting Target. Zarna's not eating Greek yogurt. Like,
yes.
you gotta stand for what you believe in.
But it's this idea of specificity, right? That makes like the
Yeah.
universal experience of, even though I'm not part of an Indian family, it felt like I was just listening to my Greek family. And I
Yeah.
can't say for my heritage that you've toppled it, but
No.
Wow. Wow. Well, we'll
Wrong
have to ask a
calls.
non-Greek person because you're biased. But
fair enough.
my Big Fat Greek Wedding is one of my favorite movies of all time. And
It's the best. And I
I'm not
love
Greek.
the dad in that movie had my heart. Oh my God.
My
I
God.
think I walked around with the Windex bottle for years.
Yeah, it was just so real. It's amazing how many people identified with that. I don't know any Greek people in life. And so you're like the first time I'm talking to a Greek person about my big fat Greek wedding. I was almost like, what do they think?
Oh, we love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that's good.
Has
Yeah.
it been a similar reaction to A Nice Indian Boy from Indian people?
It's similar in the sense that the movie tested highest among white women. So it's the same thing. It's so specific that it's actually universal. The movie really truly is for everyone. The same way My Big Fat Greek Wedding was for everybody. And so many people saw their families in that movie who weren't even remotely Greek, obviously. But
Yeah.
yes, the South Asian community has loved it.
That's fantastic. One of the main themes of the movie that I thought was so interesting is how love is expressed, whether it should be loud or quiet. And the part that got me, you guys got me to tears when the father asked, or no, your character Karan asked about if there are dates in the korma.
Mhm.
That was what
Yeah.
got me. So, how do you guys feel about love being shared in small and large ways, and what that kind of means to you?
Well, I'm curious. We probably have different answers based on who we are. For me, love is just like really loud, and I'm just like declaring it at all times. But I won't do any acts of service. That would be one way of showing them. So, for example, Kern really wants me to like put out the trash because it makes him feel loved for me to put out the trash, which is so hard for me to understand or conceive of that I don't. And instead, I just tell him and everybody how much I love him. I stare at him constantly. I trail behind him like a lost puppy, but I never put out the trash.
Yep. For me, love is, yeah, I think I'm more reserved and quiet and not showy. And actually, like public displays of affection, I've always had a hard time with anyone doing it. But I think it's because I grew up in India. I don't know. It's like we don't
Yeah.
like French kiss and make out and stuff. But to me, it's always like, yeah, my love language is acts of service. So it's like those little things, which are often little, I'm not asking for big things, are the ones that to me feel like love.
Yeah, Roshan, I think that was shade.
Yeah.
Shade.
He's been telling me
So
for
I
years.
pay the rent, I pay the property tax, and I
And there's two
pay
trash bags.
I buy the garbage bags, I buy the
Yeah, he
food that's in
literally
the garbage
does.
bags. Maybe just, if you could take it out. Sorry, what was the question?
I never do that.
No,
Um,
I think Karan is right. I personally don't believe in love at all. There's just no need for it in my life for sure. Like, who am I splitting my health insurance with? What is the plan I'm on? How responsible is that? That's what it's all about, people. Love is
Mhm.
too complicated. It's just too many complications surrounding love. I can't get into it.
This really famous poet once said, practical people win. There
um,
you go.
my last question for you guys, because you've claimed everyone as South Asian heritage as the wedding people. What is the best part about an Indian or South Asian wedding?
The food. In India, the food,
Oh,
because they have every cuisine, it's really wild. If you go to like a big Indian wedding in India, like my friend couldn't believe it. There was just like every country is represented. And the only thing problem with the food is they don't put it out till like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And so, it's you're eating a lot of carbs at 2 in the morning. So there's that. But I think the food can't be beat.
I like the choreographed dances. I just think they're
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
the cousins do dance. I hate wedding speeches. I think they're dumb, and it's just a bad genre of writing. It's always really bad writing. It brings out the worst in people. The forced jokes, the contrived atmosphere, the valorization of a bride and groom as if they're saints simply for having gotten married. The whole thing is just so dead in the water. But the dances I love.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think the best part of an Indian wedding is that no one's focused on the bride or the groom.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's not about them. It's about the
Mhm.
families. It's about the fun. It's about like when I first learned what American weddings were, like it's the bride, the whole idea of bridezilla, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. I really thought for a long time, I really thought that American brides wear white so that the guests can shine
Oh my God.
in their colorful outfits.
Sure, yeah.
Because
Welcome to
in India,
America.
the guests wear like are decked out. They will rival
Mhm.
the bride. They don't care that they're upstaging because
Hmm.
Mhm.
they are the stars.
Yeah.
So, it's a big party for everybody who's invited. Nobody cares what those two are doing on the side.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much. I absolutely love the film, and again, I can't go against my heritage, but it is up there.
It's up there. Well, tell some Greek
Eh,
people. We did our part. We supported
Yes.
your movie. We supported your community. Tell those Greek people come out and support ours.
Absolutely, I'll tell my family.
Tell
Yeah.
Nick,
Thank you.
Nick, and Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.